In this video, I will go over my experience with my recent renewal of the NBCOT license. This is the registered letter R in the OTR credentials. This will give you an idea of what to expect, especially if you're renewing for the first time, and what the process is like. Hint hint, it's not too bad. The typical credentials you see for OTs is OTR/L. R is the registered part for when you pass the board exam with the NBCOT. L is for license for when you get the licensure to practice in the state that you practice in. Now, for states, each state has their own guidelines and procedures, so it's hard to go over exactly what it's going to be like for you. But in general, the first time you renew for the licensure with your state, they may give you a grace period. So it may be every 2 years that you first start off to renew, and they may give you a grace period so you don't have to do it the first time in terms of having to do any CEUs. So that's pretty great. But for the NBCOT, keep in mind there is no such grace period for continuing education and that kind of thing. You have 3 years from the day you become registered to take all those courses. And that's plenty of time, so don't worry about it. You should be able to get this done if you don't slack off or anything. So let's get right to it. By the way, I highly recommend you use the NBCOT Renewal Log. I wrote a detailed blog post on using the NBCOT Renewal Log on the OTDUDE website. This tool helps you to track your ongoing continuing education so that you know you have completed the necessary amount of hours. It even converts like all the units like CEU, PDU, whatever U to one progress bar to see how far along you are. It's very helpful. Now, I already did this NBCOT renewal log before my actual renewal process, so I'm not sure if it's a required step. My OT friend thinks it is, and he had to do it, so it took him a while to enter everything in. I recommend you do this as you go so you don't have to do this all at once. Kind of like when you're applying for OT school and you have to enter in all your school transcript classes, and it's very, very, very tedious. So try and do this as you go, and it'll really help you give you an idea of how many you need to take and help relieve some anxiety around that. So how was the NBCOT renewal process like? Well, my NBCOT was up in 3 months, but I got an email from them way before that telling me, hey, you're about to expire. So that was very helpful, especially if you're not keeping track. Make sure that you have your email up to date so that they give you a heads up so that you have plenty of time to prepare for that. In terms of continuing ed, I use an online platform called MedBridge, and I like that a lot because you can do that from the comfort of your own home. Now, if you're interested in signing up, you can use code OTDUDE and save $175 on your membership. Once you log into the NBCOT website, there will be a big renewal button if you're up for it, front and center. The steps are pretty straightforward, so let's get right into it. The first one is contact information, pretty basic stuff. Next are what do they call character questions. Things like if you've ever been convicted of a felony, had your license suspended, any disciplinary action against you, that kind of thing. These questions may change anytime, so make sure you click the correct one for each question and answer correctly. Don't click yes when you mean no. After that are the certification requirement questions, which ask things like have you completed the necessary 36 units of education, what your primary area of practice is, and whether you want that printed on your certificate. The certificate survey section asks what your OT license practice states are, whether and where you actively work, and other survey-ish kind of questions like if you are utilizing telehealth. I imagine this section changes depending on the current trends and that kind of thing. They even asked what social media platform we use, which I thought was totally interesting. So no, I did not see TikTok on this list. The last step in this process is to read and attest to that attestation. I don't know how you say that. Statement, and then you'll be sent to the payment page where you enter your credit card information, where you check out like online shopping. One thing that made me nervous was that the payment part after I clicked submit took forever. At least it felt like it. They literally had a message that says it may take up to 3 to 4 minutes to process, so do not click out or close your browser. So I waited and waited and waited, and finally got a notification from my banking app that my card was charged. Good. So that made me feel a lot better. After that, you'll receive in your inbox with the same email address you have registered to the NBCOT with a confirmation receipt. And that's pretty much it. For me, it cost $65 in the year of 2021, so not too bad considering that's for 3 years of licensing to practice. So hope this helps clarify and give you an idea of what it'll be like when you're up for your renewal for your NBCOT. It's not too bad. Just the biggest thing is have your email up to date and don't slack off on your CEUs and take them as you go is probably the easiest way so that you can use this stuff you learn in practice. See you in the next one, everybody.